Hi there. Welcome to my broadcast. For those that don't know me, I'm Catherine with Classic Legacy, and I design custom gifts, and welcome to my broadcast. Today we're going to be talking about gifts that use a vintage image. I'm sorry you're having a poor connection. Does anyone else have that problem? I'm going to keep on going because I never know if it's your problem or my problem, but today we're going to be talking about Good, Katerina. Thank you for sharing that. Today we're going to be talking about how you can use vintage images to create really unique custom gifts. And some of you might remember a week or so ago, I was in downtown Memphis on the Mississippi River, and I saw the American Queen Steamboat leave from Memphis to go to New Orleans. And that's one of my clients. And one of the gifts that we're doing for them, it uses a vintage image. And this was the image I held up when I first introduced my broadcast. But I want to show you the actual product because it's done. This is a marble coaster, and it uses this wonderful vintage image of the steamboat as it was probably over 100 years ago. And this marble coaster is good for hot drinks and cold drinks, and this is just a way that you can use your vintage images to create wonderful gifts. So one gift is the marble coaster, and everyone has vintage images. It might be 100 years old, it might be 50 years old, it might be 20 years old if you want to call that vintage. But these are gifts that you have on hand. And that same image was used on this wine bottle stopper. So it really makes a luxury gift. This is it's really a luxury hotel on the Mississippi River. It's the largest steamboat that is currently in operation, and it travels along the Mississippi River and the Ohio River. And they're using their vintage image of the steamboat to create wonderful gifts. Thank you so much for the hearts. For those that are just joining this broadcast, I'd love to know where you're coming in from. I'm coming to you from Germantown, Tennessee, and I create custom gifts for hotels, resorts, museums, wineries. And although I work with some big brands, I love to work with small solo entrepreneurs and boutiques all over the United States. And I have shipped internationally as well. I know some of my gifts are in Japan and in Belgium, so I'm open to all possibilities. But this was the first gift that I shared, this vintage image of the steamboat. But I have some other examples and ideas for you. This is also a marble gift, but it's a little bit thinner, and this is a Christmas ornament. And this store, Luigi's, was founded in California in 1910, and in 2010 they had their centennial celebration. So we created these for them as a Christmas ornament. So that's another use for a vintage image. And I want to share with you the Hotel del Coronado is a hotel in California in the San Diego area, and this is a vintage image in 1888 when this hotel was first founded. Katerina, I really appreciate the hearts. I wanted to tell you that my friend Diane also loves to give me hearts, and she said, Katerina's ahead of me, so I really appreciate it. And we can print in sepia, which is the kind of brown vintage type tones, but we can also print in black and white, and I have an example of that. And this is a vintage sign. It's Route 66. It's a sign in the United States, and this is one of the first highways, and it goes through small towns and unique vintage towns, and it's kind of a symbol that a lot of people love to remember. So Route 66, that's an example of printing in black and white. But we also can print in color. And I have an example of a vintage image in color. That was a famous highway. Thank you for saying that. This is a vintage, this was a postcard originally. And this man created these postcards all over the United States. This was the Texas postcard. And so we took the image of that postcard and made it into this coaster. But we also have the ability to print on metal. And we printed this little, it's a Limoges style box. So, and this is the business card holder. And again, we used that vintage image and created this image on the business card holder. Hi, Juniper Sky. Thanks for joining. So I just wanted to share with you that most people have old photographs, and sometimes we don't recognize the value of those old photographs, those images. And we can use, I can help you use your vintage images to create wonderful custom gifts. I'd love to answer any questions, and if you have any ideas that you'd like to share, I'd love to talk about that. I'm coming to you from Germantown, Tennessee, and I ship all over the United States, and I love serving retailers, hotels, museums, and helping them develop gifts to stand out and get noticed. I have my free ebook for you. It's bit.ly/43gifts, and this is the ebook that I've designed that helps you get ideas from other people. There are 43 proven ideas, so go to bit.ly/43gifts, and in that book you can see what other people have done to stand out and get noticed. And sometimes we use a vintage image, sometimes we use your art, and sometimes we use your logo. Thank you, I appreciate it. Dress for success today. Some of you might notice the mannequin in the back. I put my jewelry on the mannequin, and one of the pieces is the long pearl necklace that I do, and it can be either long like the mannequin has, or I can double it like this, and sometimes I like to double it with lots of pearls. I scope most weekdays from at 10:30, and I don't usually scope on the weekends. I spend that time with my family. Tomorrow I have some fun things planned for my grandchildren. I always do a scavenger hunt for them on Saturday mornings. My grandchildren are 9, 6, and 4, and I do really simple things, but they have a good time. It involves reading, it involves finding a treasure, and then when it's over, their prize that they like the very best is having iPad time. So then they get to play games on the iPad. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, but I have enjoyed being with you today. And remember, you can use your vintage image to create wonderful gifts like this marble coaster. And I'm Catherine with Classic Legacy, and I will see you next time on the next broadcast. Thanks so much. Goodbye.